Hello, welcome to this your channel of the Better Eurofan, that's me. For today's episode I'm going to review the Irish entry for Junior Eurovision 2022, which will be represented by singer Sophie Lennon with the song Solas, which in English translates as light. After the cheerful performance of Mayu Levi Laudo in last year's contest, in which unfortunately he places second to last in the ranking, Ireland moves forward with its participation despite the flop, hoping to have a better result this time. Let's take a look to the artist that will represent the Celtic nation on Yerevan. Sophie is 13 years old and lives in a small village named Majorbridge in the county of Down of Northern Ireland. She is already experienced in music and theatre at her early age, having played young Fiona in Shrek the Musical on Belfast, and winning early this year the BBC School Soloist of the Year. How is that she comes to represent Ireland in the junior contest? Now about to comment it in detail. As usual, the Gaelic Irish public broadcaster will organize the 7th edition of its Junior National Final Junior Eurovision age to select the artist that will represent the country in Armenia, while the song will be internally chosen by the broadcaster, a strategy implemented since 3 editions ago. It's remarkable in this case that this will be the second participation on Sophie in the national final, having participated the very first time last year, placing as third finalist. The national final will consist of 4 hits, a semi-final and a final show, aired from mid-September to late October, in which a jury composed of 2 permanent members and 1 revolving guest member will decide the qualifiers to the semi-final and the final show. Making a brief description of the qualification method, in each hit the jury will select a first qualified in their first round, and a second qualifier and a sing-off between 2 nominated contestants. This method will be used in a similar way in the semi-final, selecting 2 finalists in the first round, and a third finalist after a sing-off between 2 nominated semi-finalists. Sophie will make her first appearance in the 4th hit, qualifying straight to the semi-final in the first round. Later, she will repeat the same feat in the semi-final, securing herself a spot in the final show. Then, in the final show that took place in late last October, there was an important change, as for the very first time the winning will be decided solely by the audience by an online voting, while the jury was present to give feedback to the finalists, but not having any voting power after the performances of the 3 finalists, in which each one of them had performed a song from another artist and a Eurovision Irish winning entry. The voting results proclaimed Sophie as the winner, becoming after 2 attempts in the Irish representative winning the ticket to Yerevan. Later on, the Gaelic Irish public broadcaster will be in charge of internally select the song that Sophie will perform in Yerevan, announced it officially early last month with the release of the official music video. It's a return to the Celtic Bake proposals. Now here comes the analysis according to what she has presented in her official music video. The melody is a ballad inspired in Celtic traditional music as we have seen in previous entries, while Sophie's voice is tender and powerful at the same time. In this case, the lyrics are fully written in Irish, written in detail, previously translated of course. It talks about being a guiding light in the darkness of the night, and not only by herself, but anyone can have this same ability, because we all have the power inside of us to be a supportive guide to the people who need it most. In this sense, it carries a quite important implicit message. Analyzing the official music video, the plot developed is very related with the lyrics. In the beginning, Sophie is seen wearing a green dress, with her red hair and her white skin is almost resembling the Irish flag, and walking by a town in ruins, witnessing a lighthouse on the nearby, and she decides to go there, while there are alternate shots of her performing the song in a location close to the lighthouse. From this point she starts to face difficulties in her attempt of reaching the lighthouse. Running by the field, each scene that she stumbles over her dress with her falling to the ground, although her face looks too terrible, like she had a strong stumble as she had been injured, but it was not that serious as she gets up and keeps running. She gets to the lighthouse lighthouse gate, but it's closed. And in her desperation, she tries to open it unsuccessfully. But come on, it could be as easier as climb and jump over the gate, which was not too high. But with her dress, probably it will be more complicated, and maybe she could also injure herself. But luckily for her, the gate unexpectedly opens, having no clue if it was because of her struggle or if it was magically opened. She keeps walking and gets to the lighthouse door, knocking the door many times persistently, but no one answers, with she feeling bothered again. Poor girl, facing a lot of difficulties, you might think. Once again, the luck is on her side and the door key appears from nowhere. Opening the door, I go into the stairs to climb to the top of the lighthouse. Once there, she operates the knobs of the lighthouse trying to turn it on, but she cannot make it turn on, with she again feeling frustrated. Somebody help this girl until she gets depressed, please. Suddenly, she figures out the button that turns on the lighthouse, and at the same time, her dress turns yellow like the beam of the lighthouse, having achieved her goal finally. But then later, I can see some editing problems, because there are moments in which Sophie appears with a green dress outside the top of the lighthouse, lighted on and still having daylight. I mean, lighthouses are turned on by night or in a too cloudy day, and other ones with a yellow dress and the lighthouse lighted on by night. This makes more sense, obviously. Towards the end of the music video, close-ups of her are seen and performing the last chorus until the performance finishes, ending with a shot of the lighthouse lighted on with the day looking cloudy. Making a summary of the comments, the Irish entry for this year is fine. The song transmits a quite positive message, but it's about to see if it can captivate the audience. For the staging in Yerevan, it will follow the same trend of the music video for sure, with many sets of spotlights and beams, with her wearing the same dress in green, yellow, and another different color. For now, we must have to wait and see how this proposal is finally presented. And you, what do you think about the Irish entry for this year? Leave your comments down below so we can keep the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. If this content is of your taste, give a like, subscribe to my channel and enable notifications. And you can also find me on my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.